This is to show the setup menu on the Leica Disto D510 laser distance meter. To turn it on, we press the on button, and it automatically goes into distance mode. To get to the setup menu, we press the function button, and then we press this dot on the left hand side, which corresponds to the setup menu because it's not touch screen. In here we'll work our way through the menu. Up at the top left hand side we press the equal button to go into it. We have degrees of pitch, so when it's horizontal it will show degree sign. If I have it over here it will show millimeters per meter, inches per feet, or percentage. I'm going to leave it on 90 degrees. We press the clear button to come back out of that section. We come across to the next one, which is units. Now this is the one that I never found on the internet. Nobody said whether it would do millimeters, as I'm in England, and I'm very happy to say that I do have millimeters. Now when I come back out to the screen, we have millimeters. To hit distance, we press the distance button once, and then we press it again, which gives us the measurement from the back edge of this unit to the wall that's in front of me, which is 358.2 millimeters. The next setting we have beep turned on, so we can have it off and we can have it on. The next option, if we come down over to the left, is digital level, which is off at the moment. If we press it on and come back out of this, it shows up in the top right hand corner how level. The next one across is Bluetooth. Now I'm going to turn that off for the time being to save battery power, and I'll turn it on when I get round to using it with the iPhone. The next button down in the left hand corner is calibration. So if you need to calibrate the unit, we have favorites, and this is where we can choose any of the different functions to go down to this point and this point. Now I have it set up for height tracking on the left, which will allow me to measure heights of trees, as I'm a gardener, so I find that one very interesting. And I also have it set up for Pythagoras 2-point for measuring just two distances. The next one across is your brightness. Now this is on setting 1 that it comes defaulted on, and I can take it all the way up to 6 if I was outside on a bright day. The next icon is an offset option, which is quite a clever idea. You can have an offset adds or subtracts a specific value automatically to or from all measurements. So if you had this mounted, let's say you had it mounted on a stick, so if you were doing it in a liquid environment, you could actually have the meter measuring the bottom of a tank and still giving you accurate measurements. The next button is the reset button for when you go through all your functions and totally muck everything up. And the one after that is your info button, which has your unit's serial number. Right, let's have a look at the different functions that we have. Up in the top left hand corner we have a timer function. So if you had it on a surface or a tripod, and after touching the button you wanted to let it settle to get an accurate measurement, you would hit the timer function, and you have the option of 2 seconds, 5 seconds or 30 seconds. The next icon is a calculator, which will take the measurement that you've just measured and put it into the calculator. After that we have adjustment for measuring. Now if we go over to this one, it's quite interesting. You have measuring from the back of the unit, measuring from the front of the unit. If you bought the Disto FTA 360 lock, it would measure from the lock measurement on the 360, and the other one is tripod. On the back of it, it has a tripod mount, and it would be measuring from the center of that tripod mount. Now also on the unit, it has a flip out piece that you can put up against a wall, but if you then pull it sideways and come all the way out, the unit automatically recognises that you're measuring off of the stick and measures from the back of the pull out. Put it back away again and the unit automatically reverts back to the back of the unit. The next function is memory, and it can remember up to 30 measurements. So if we pop into this one and we use the left and right arrows to go through different measurements. Now one interesting thing is, if this particular measurement was one that I'd taken and I wanted to add it to another measurement, I could hit equals, which will now take it across as if it was the last measurement done. Then I could hit the plus button, or hit it again to go minus, but if we do plus and then add it on to the wall and then hit equals, it will add the measurements for you, and now that measurement is stored in the memory as well. The next function to the right of just normal distance is smart horizontal mode. If we go into this, at the top it will show the degrees that you're out of horizontal. Now I'm going to have to do this off of camera and do a measurement because it's too close where I'm doing it on my desk. So it shows that the unit was 21.4 degrees off of horizontal. The next measurement down shows from the back of the unit to the wall what it would measure if you were just taking your tape measure in a straight line to it. The next measurement shows how much you've risen from horizontal. So I was 1.5 meters up the wall, and then the final measurement shows the horizontal measurement from me to the wall. So from myself to the wall I was 3.8 meters away, but because I was up at a 21 degree angle, the actual measurement for the slope would have been 4.1 meters. Now to get out of this setting and go back to just normal distance, just hit the clear button twice and it takes you back to normal distance mode. The next one after that is incline tracking. Now this one basically tracks what the incline is. And the next function is area. This shows you the first measurement, the second measurement, the circumference of the square, and then the meter squared. The next function after this is volume. Now this shows me my first distance, my second distance, my third distance, and the volume in meter cubed. And if we hit the down arrow, it will then show us the ceiling and floor area in meters squared. Press the button again, it will show me the wall area in meters squared, and one more time and it will show me the circumference for the cube. On to the next function, which is triangular area, which I won't show you because I don't know if I have any use for triangular area, but you can do it if you need to. The next one is long range. If we turn this on, up in the top left hand corner we have LR. Now the long range mode allows measuring of difficult targets in unfavourable conditions, i.e. ambient light or bad target reflection. The measuring time is increased. Now this next function that we have is height profile measurements. The next function is slope objects. The next function is height tracking mode. Now this one's going to be interesting for being able to track what height trees are. Now one function that this unit does have, which is fantastic, it has a camera option. So you don't have to see where the red dot is, you get an actual live view of where your crosshair is. Now if I get rid of the live view so that you can see the numbers better, I was -2 degrees aiming at the base of the tree. The next measurement shows the distance from me to the tree, which was 9 meters away. Top of the tree I had to go up +65 degrees, which gave me an overall height of 20 meters on this tree. The next function that we have on the unit is Trapezium. Now you would use this to find out what the length of a roof is, for example. So you would measure the height underneath the eaves. You would then measure the height up at the top of the ridge, and that will then give you the length of the roof. The next function is for stakeout use. Now if you were to put some studs going down a wall, you could put in the measurement that you want the studs to be at, and then basically it will give you that measurement each time. The next function is Pythagoras. Now this works out, you aim it at one point and go along a horizontal and aim at a second point, and it will tell you the distance between the 2 points. So if I quickly measure the points of my wardrobe, this shows the distance from me to the first point, the distance from me to the second point, given the overall length of the item. But in this case it was a wardrobe, so it's the depth of it is 797 millimeters. We also have a function for doing 3-point Pythagoras. So to use this, we press the on button to start the laser, which lets the laser out. We then press the on button one more time, and then that gives us our exact measurement. Because I'm getting older, what I'm going to do at the moment, you go to function, up, across, and you get to timer. I want to put it onto this hotspot on this side now. So we hit function. Then we hit this button for settings, come down to favourites, which is at the bottom middle. We select what we want to choose, which is the timer, and then it's saying would you like it on the left button or the right button, so we'll pop it on the right button. Now if I clear back out to the main screen, we now have timer in this right hand corner, so all I have to press is this button and then choose 2-second timer. Now when I press on, this brings a red line up here and it starts the laser. You also notice at the top corner there is a 2, so if I press it from here you can see the timer counting down, and it also beeps nicely. Press it once to turn on the laser. We press it again, we get the 2-second timer, and then I can actually hold it and watch the point exactly where I want it. For internal measurements, we place the back end up against the wall, press the button once, and then that will take the internal measurement of this unit, which is 401.8 millimeters. If I wanted to find out what it was from this side of the ply, on the back of the unit it has a pull-out foot, and this foot can then get wrapped around the ply and that's 419.8. so if I was to take that away from the 401, that leaves me exactly 18 mil, which is the 18 mil ply. This shows how accurate this laser is. Now the foot on the bottom also pulls all the way down, but to do this you slide it towards you slightly and then pull down. This allows you to go into a back corner and get the measurement right from the back corner of an item, or if I wanted to do it inside where this shelf unit goes, I can place it inside the shelf. And then it will give me the measurement of the internal measurement. When the bottom part is down, you will also notice that the measurement on this side is now showing that I've got the foot out, so it's measuring from the bottom of the foot. To put it back away again, you slide it across, and then the unit automatically notices that the foot has gone in and it starts measuring from the back of the unit again.